Hello everybody, this is Mike from Toehider, and you're at cowboysfromrock.com. Here in Victoria, in Australia, we're still in stage 4 restrictions because I had various other outbreaks and things, so it's been a little bit trying. It's been difficult, but it has to be done, and I'm sure things will get better. Things have to get worse before they get better, right? Well, that's the goal from the beginning, I guess. It sounds strange to say in words, but I try to avoid having a distinct style, I guess. I'm a big fan of things like the Beatles and Queen and things like that, where it seemed like back then artists were able to make albums that were very diverse, and sometimes you couldn't tell it was the same band. So I've always tried to model myself on that idea. I'm just too interested in so many, I guess, styles of music, so I don't want to limit myself. Yeah, I think that was just born out of necessity. It's easier to, if I'm working on something in the middle of the night, it's just easier for me to do the parts myself, and if I can't play them, we can figure out some sort of arrangement where I can program or sequence the parts. It just saves a lot of time, a lot of setup time and things like that. It just seems to make sense. Well, I think I cover a lot of ground with Toehider, so I think most of the musical goals that I have more so involve, the big classic ideas of playing with an orchestra or doing a performance with a full choir or something like that, I guess. Well, I think the music should be a reflection of personality, a reflection of the human emotion spectrum, I suppose. So I feel like it's important that there's music that's angry or sad or happy or funny. I feel all of these emotions, so it makes sense to me to convey all of those emotions in my work. Yes, telling stories is a big part of the things that are interesting to me. I love a lot of old folk music and country music, which is very much story based, and I love that. I guess it is some sort of compulsion. The 12 in 12 project, the 12 EPs in 12 months, was more or less an idea just to keep active. And I was, back in those days, I was very new to the recording process, or the self-recording process. So it was also a good opportunity for me to sort of hone my craft, I guess, hone my skills, to get better. And I still feel like I'm always learning new things, and there's still so much for me to learn, not only in music but also in music production. Well, from the beginning, it was always a hand-in-hand process. from the beginning was always kind of, we would motivate each other to get things finished and to sort of attempt to try to push ourselves to be the best that we could be. It's a dream come true. It's he's a phenomenal writer and composer and music producer, and I owe a lot to that guy. So many opportunities have come from my relationship with Arjen, so I'm forever in his debt. So thank you, Arjen. I think that's a very good point, because people often lament the 20th century, the sort of late 20th century model of writing music, recording it to a format, and selling that. Well, that's not the only way that it happens, I suppose. Like, for many artists, they don't sell their music at all in that format. So what you were talking about with things like Patreon and Bandcamp and things like that, where there can be a direct relationship between the artist and the music fan. To answer your question, what would you recommend for any emerging band? Is definitely embrace the platforms and embrace the way things are now, because it can be done. You can sustain a living, you can sort of be compensated for your work, and you can connect with people much more directly than what you ever could. There's obvious downsides to it as well, but there's going to be downsides to any model that we're using. What I'm doing, I find it hard to find time to listen to any new music. I haven't come across anything. Maybe you guys could suggest to me the stuff that I could listen to. On the Patreon, I had a playlist where patrons could send things to me that I can listen to, and it's always great. Anyway, yeah, so I don't have any recommendations for you at the moment. I'm sorry. I can't think of a band. The first thing that came to my head was Danzig. One frontman, Glenn Danzig. History of a Time to Come by Sabbath. This is much harder than what I thought it would be. I'm going to say A Day in the Life by the Beatles. Chicken Cacciatore. Can I just say the Discworld series? Terry Pratchett. Being on Broadway. Working with an orchestra. I don't believe in guilty pleasures. I think if you like it, then that's fine. You should not feel guilty about it. Good. Thank you very much, Cowboys from Rock. Keep rocking.